A new year means a new chance. On March 18th, 2024, Nova Southeastern and Tampa met in Georgia with the South Region crown up for grabs. Led by the seemingly unstoppable Zoe Pillar, the Spartans bested the Sharks and moved on to the Elite Eight. Now they meet again. And for the homeside Sharks, a little bit of retribution is on their minds. Closing off the year with 2 impressive wins, this NSU squad have every reason to make it 3 in a row today at the turn of the new year. It's also a new chance for the Spartans. Although they could boast victory in the big dance, they no longer have conference incumbency to protect, having lost the season title to these very Sharks last season. We are into the Sunshine State Conference Marathon, and a little payback is on the menu. But who will be the one to land that punch? Find out up next on the SSC Digital Network. Welcome one and all to this broadcast. Sharks Athletics is brought to you by the Courtyard Marriott, Valley Bank, Herb Jones, and Northwestern Mutual. My name is Mark Schoenster, and as always, I am joined by Josh Raphael. Happy New Year to all of you tuning in, watching. Happy New Year to my 2 Joshes here. Josh Leatherman working the audio board and the graphics and making sure that this show gets on to air and people can see the proper sites. But Happy New Year to you all. But let's take a look at tonight's matchup presented by the Courtyard Marriott. It's a big one. 2 ranked teams duking it out, the number 22 Sharks, the number 12 Spartans. I mean, this is the kind of game that you always want to lock in and tune into.
Yeah, and like you alluded to in the intro, this is a Sweet 16 rematch, and these 2 teams, they always come out and show out when they play against each other. So I'm expecting to see a great battle today, Mark.
Let's take a peek at the RAF report. You've got some keys for this matchup for both sides.
Well, for Tampa, you got to fly around defensively. I mean, that's the main point of emphasis for today. This Sharks team, they push the tempo, they play fast, so you got to fly around defensively and stay disciplined. Also, slow the Sharks down in transition. Like I mentioned, the Sharks are going to push the tempo on the transition break. So, again, push them, slow them down, and get back on defense. For Northern Southeastern, you got to match Zoe Pillar's physicality. Now, that was the point, but we just got report about 20 minutes ago that Zoe Pillar is out due to a flu, so hope that she gets better. So even though she's out now, the Sharks are going to have to adjust their game plan. So don't take Tampa any more lightly just because their best player is out. And also group rebound, good things happen when the Sharks crash the board as a team, as we saw in that top 10 matchup against Pitt State.
Look at the new look RAF report on our screen here. Got your face on the broadcast. Looking pretty good.
New year, new RAF report.
Exactly. Now we can take a look at who's been fired up in our Blaze Pizza player profile. Now, we chose Mercedes Simmons before we got that news about Zoe Pillar, but I think it's even doubly important now that she is our player to look at.
Yeah, and Mercedes Simmons has been great for NSU, especially in that holiday classic against the teams like Northwest Missouri and Pittsburgh State. She's second on the team in scoring 9.7 points per game, and the Sharks are going to need her now more than ever because they're going to really have to pack the paint inside and really set the tone in the interior. So I'm expecting a big game from Mercedes Simmons today.
She'll be matched up with Vivian Gendy, who will be getting her first start as a Spartan in place of Zoe Pillar. So we'll get to see how that matchup unravels through these next 4 quarters. What's in store? It's the number 22 Sharks and the number 12 Spartans. Do not miss a second of it. We're going to step aside briefly for the anthem. We'll be back with lineups and tip-off on the SSC Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Here's a look at the starting lineups for tonight's matchup presented by Culver's. First off, for the Spartans, for the University of Tampa, the 12th ranked Spartans at that, we've got Sariana Rodriguez, Marissa McDonald, Audrey Ramsey, and then two first-time starters in Vivian Gendy, who we mentioned on the other side of the national anthem, and Georgia Palmieri, the freshman guard, also getting a look in the starting lineup for the Spartans. Meanwhile, on the Shark side of things, we've got Karina Conley, Jess Moores, Madison Clunan, Michaela Clunan, and Aubrey Stupp leading the way for Coach Leanne Freeland-Curry's side. Now, as far as our officiating crew is concerned, we have Julia D'Ambrosio, Robin Starks, and Carlos Gonzalez. And you already heard our voices, but starting at color commentary, Josh Raphael, and I'm Mark Schoenster. I'll be your play-by-play voice for this broadcast on the SSC Digital Network. We're into the slate now, Josh, where it's nothing but Sunshine State basketball from here until we get to March, which means it's just a sprint, no pit stops, nothing but hard-fought basketball from here on out and for the next 2.5 months, and then you get into tournament play, which you just turn the dial up another notch. But looking at the conference standings early in the season, of course, there's still a lot of basketball to be had. Right now, the Sharks are at 2-1 in conference play. Tampa sitting above them at 3-0. There's only one other undefeated team in conference play, and that's Embry-Riddle. So these two sides trying to make sure they keep pace with the Aeronautical University, but you know that by the end of the season, the result of this game will be pivotal on who's sitting at the top of the standings.
Yeah, and the SSC is arguably one of the toughest conferences of Division II women's basketball. I mean, you mentioned Embry-Riddle. You mentioned teams like Tampa that were playing today, but again, you got teams like Barry that came into our home court and beat us by 20+. So, again, from top to bottom, the SSC is going to be a gauntlet. And again, we're going to see a great matchup today, and this is a very pivotal game. I know Tampa is without their best player in Zoe Pillar, but this is where you really find out if other players are going to step up for you, and that's going to really help you as you get deeper into the season.
100%. No Zoe Pillar, again, who averages 18 points per game this season, which is third in the conference. And she's also second in the conference, or third in the conference, in rebounds per game. So that is a huge presence that is going to be missing today for Tom Jesse's side. But this is his 23rd year coaching this team. He's seen his fair share of different scenarios, including missing their leading scorer and leading rebounder before. So let's see how he reacts to that disadvantage, how his players react to it, and who steps up and makes a name for themselves tonight, if there's someone to make a name for themselves. It'll be Tampa in the black unis with the red numbering and white trim. Meanwhile, the Sharks in their white and navy blue. And we are up in the air and underway. The ball is tipped loose and claimed by Olivia Davis. So it appears there was a mistake on the scoreboard. Olivia Davis starting for instead of Georgia Palmieri, which makes more sense. She is one of the perennial starters on this roster. So we'll offer that correction up right at the get-go. And it's Vivian Gendy who does get the start today in favor of Zoe Pillar, whom is out with the flu. Gets the first bucket to start things off.
Yeah, that was a great take there. That's exactly what she needs to do to fill that Pillar loss here, is really set the tone in the interior.
Clunan kicks it over to Conley. Now she floats it inside. Now on the left-hand side, Moores floats it back up top to Conley. Conley driving in, right block shot is off the glass and in.
Great take there from Conley. That's how you get past that zone, swing the ball, attack the zone itself. Great float, great finish.
So here's Audrey Ramsey. Sends this one inside for Gendy once again, one-on-one with Stupp, and she scores a second time.
And you could see Tampa send the tone here earlier, really pressing the Sharks in the interior.
Vivian Gendy averages 3 points per game and already has 4 on their first 2 offensive possessions. Clunan kicks it over to the right-hand side. Michaela Clunan with the ball now. Madison Clunan in the paint. Turns, back out, Rotated to the corner. Stupp for three. It's good.
Great ball movement there. Again, Sharks do a great job of not letting the ball stick, really moving it. Great shot from Stupp.
Rodriguez checks it up to Davis at the point, who hands it off. Ramsey hands it off to Rodriguez. Now it's Davis once more. Step back three for Davis. No good, a little bit too strong. Rebound collected by Jendi. Audrey Ramsey guarded and well guarded by Jess Moores. She floats it down the floor, and Aubrey Stupp rises up and gets it to fall.
Great defensive possession there from Jess Moores. Able to get some active hands, create that steal, and a nice feed to Aubrey Stupp for the finish.
And always count on Jess Moores to get a couple of those in a game. She averages 2 steals per match. Jendi, good find inside. McDonald is able to get the shot off, and she scores.
Yeah, and that was an action that Tampa ran against the Sharks the whole second half in the Sweet 16. Nice cross screen to a back screen there, freeing open McDonald for the layup.
Madison Clunan tucks in, then kicks it back out to Stupp. Stupp to Conley. 8 on the shot clock. Madison Clunan to the corner. Jess Moores drives it along the baseline, and she got bumped on the way forward. So that'll be the first foul of the evening. Marissa McDonald will collect the personal foul there. And now we're going to see our Blaze Pizza player to watch Mercedes Simmons check into the game along with Peyton Graber. We'll see how Simmons matches up with Jendi. Graber in the left corner. Bounces it inside for Simmons. And she got swarmed by several black jerseys. And it'll be a tie-up in favor of Tampa. I'll check that. It's actually going to be the Sharks who get the ball.
And a great job there from the Spartans, digging on that Mercedes Simmons drive.
Clunan from the right wing. Now Michaela Clunan for three. Off the back iron. Rebound found by Conley. Conley can't get it to fall.
And the Sharks do a great job of really crashing the offensive glass. And that's where you miss that presence of Zoe Pillar, who, as you mentioned earlier, Mark, is third in the conference in rebounds. So Tampa's really going to have to box out.
Jendi pivots, goes up, and that one won't fall through. Our first look at the matchup between Jendi and Mercedes Simmons on that end of the floor. Conley near the point, checks it to Madison Clunan. Now here's Michaela Clunan once again. Trying to find a spot to shoot, and Conley does just that. Off the target, though. Ramsey just able to get that one off. Off balance there in that moment. Davis floats it to the right-hand side. Rodriguez with a couple of hops, and she traveled.
Yeah, great defense there from NSU. Really clogging up the paint, creating that travel.
So both the Clunan sisters will exit the match along with Karina Conley. And we're going to see Dash Shaw, Alana Ellis, as well as Jess Moores back in the match.
And Dash Shaw is that spark plug for NSU. But again, Tampa's in this 2-3, so intrigued to see what the Sharks run here to get them a good look.
Graber bouncing it to Shaw. Now Ellis. Back up top, give and go there. Alana Ellis three. Too strong there from Ellis.
Yeah, Tampa's almost living with the Sharks taking the threes.
Stumbling and finishing there. Impressive work from Marissa McDonald.
Yeah, and Mark, Tampa's not wasting any time. Once that ball gets to the post, you can see their bigs immediately make their moves, not wasting time there, and a great finish through the contact.
Graber inside to Simmons. She had to collect it, but she still gets the finish either way. The Sharks with a 1-point lead. The advantage trading back and forth right now. It's a loose basketball. Sliding forward is Graber. And how about that effort from Peyton Graber?
And that's what she does best, Mark, is put her body on the line. Scrappy player, forcing the jump ball there.
She traveled like a penguin on ice there for a moment, just sliding down. Traveled some good distance to get to that basketball and win the tie. With that, the Courtyard Marriott in Plantation is the preferred hotel of NSU Athletics and is located just 3 miles from campus. Visit plantationcourtyard.com and enter promo code NVU for a special athletics department rate. Make sure to tell them you're a Shark fan to receive Shark discounts and free shuttle service to NSU. We'll be back in a moment. Nova Southeastern, last time out, won 73-57 against Northwest Missouri State the day after winning against a top 10 Pittsburgh State team. So 2 big wins for Nova Southeastern to close out 2024, and now another huge game here against the Spartans. You're watching on the SSC Digital Network. Mark Schoenster, Josh Raphael with you on the comms. Nice find inside. And that'll be a foul, I believe, on Graber.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this is really a point of emphasis for Tampa to really find out which players are going to be able to step up for them. Again, you miss a player like Zoe Pillar, your leading scorer, your leading rebounder, and, you know, Tampa has really been able to kind of make up for her loss here early, really setting the tone in the interior.
When you look at this Tampa roster, and you notice when a 6'1" center, Zoe Pillar, is missing, that can hurt some teams more than others, but this is a team that today is still starting 3 players who all stand over 6 feet tall. So they're not exactly aching for height. Jendi goes 1 of 2 at the charity stripe. Graber over to Shaw. Dash Shaw. Just passing around the perimeter right now. And looked like too much time spent in the paint there. Tampa get the ball back. Oh, that was shocking. Here's a 3 taken, and it's well off target. Sariana Rodriguez couldn't put that one on target.
Yeah, I wonder if the noise threw her off there a little bit. Some technical difficulties.
Graber crosses the 10-second line. Checks over to Moores. Alana Ellis on the basketball now. Ellis driving in, and Alana Ellis.
Yeah, great job there from Alana Ellis. One of the better attackers on this Sharks basketball team. And again, that's how you're going to get Tampa out this zone, is attacking it, making them step up, and a lot more opportunities are going to come open for NSU. Great take there from Ellis.
Ramsey bounces it to Rodriguez. Now McDonald. Overhead pass. Now a 3 is taken, and it's off target for Kath Van Bennekamp. checked into the game during the timeout. Graber just gets that one away, but couldn't be corralled in by Alana Ellis. Ramsey will take it down the floor. Jess Morris is right on her. Now guarded by Ellis. Rodriguez on the ball now. Bouncing it inside, and a foul called on Jess Morris.
Yeah, and you can see every time Jess Morris gets that switch in the paint, Tampa's making it a point to get it to whoever she's guarding. Again, Jess Morris is one of the Sharks' best defenders. So I imagine Tampa would try to get her in foul trouble early here.
So now Georgia Palmieri checks into the game. She inbounds it. Claimed by McDonald. She'll hand it off. Rodriguez backs up. Now sends it inside for McDonald. McDonald able to maintain possession. Palmieri. Not enough juice on that shot. Clunin to Aubrey Stupp. Nice pass over to the corner. Dash for three is no good. Offensive board fought for. It's a scrum on the ground, and Nova Southeastern basketball once again. Clunin inside for Shaw. Shaw got bumped, and Shaw's going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, seemed to be a bit of a miscommunication there for Tampa in the zone. Great job from Dash Shaw. Cut into the basket, great find. Again, Dash Shaw does a great job of being able to draw fouls as she draws that foul there.
So Dash Shaw will go to the free throw line, where she's shot 79% this year. First one twirling out. Had 11 points against Northwest Missouri State last time out before the holiday break. A 3-point lead for Nova Southeastern, which is the largest lead either team has had so far early on in this game. Basically been trading buckets for the first 8 or so minutes. Van Bennekom to the left-hand side, Palmieri. And a traveling call turns the ball back over to the Sharks.
Yeah, another travel on Tampa here. Shuffling their feet a bit. But, again, that's just great defense from the Sharks, communicating on defense.
Ellis rotating to Shaw. Back up top. Now Stupp. Long three. And it's good again. Aubrey Stupp feeling it from range. Sharks with a 6-point lead under a minute to go in the first quarter. Palmieri pitches it. Davis bouncing it to Kath Van Bennekom. Rodriguez overshoots the pass, and Nova Southeastern are going to get the basketball once again with 44 seconds to go in the quarter.
Yeah, and that started with Aubrey Stupp down there below. And I know I mentioned earlier in the RAF report to match Zoe Pillar's physicality, but they got to match this Tampa's team's physicality, and Aubrey Stupp did just that, being able to kind of push the offensive player off of her spot, draw the turnover.
And it's won right back by the Spartans. A much-needed defensive response. And now a foul on the floor will be called against Madison Clunin. Rodriguez along the baseline. Couldn't get that one around the rim. Shot clock turned off. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. The Sharks already have a 6-point lead. I'm sure you're already happy with that coming out of this quarter. So you just take one more shot and see if you could expand upon it just a little bit more. Don't want to leave any room for them to get down the floor, though. Shaw, corner three. It's Cash! Cash from Dash!
A great driving kick there from one of the Clunan twins into a knockdown three for Dash Shaw. What a way to end the quarter for NSU.
It is a 9-point lead for the Sharks after 10 minutes of action. Sharks Athletics extends a thank you to Northwestern Mutual, dedicated to helping you secure your financial future and live life to the fullest. Plan for tomorrow, live for today. We'll be back in a moment.
What we do isn't just financial planning. We're developing a long-term relationship.
It's an international space where everyone is welcome.
We really resemble the community. I've been able to build a very successful practice, one that I couldn't have done alone.
Training that we have as financial advisors, it's unheard of.
This career, it does allow for an amazing work-life balance.
This ended up being the most rewarding thing that I could possibly imagine doing professionally.
If the world was like the South Florida group, it would be a better place.
It is a 9-point lead for Nova Southeastern going into the second quarter. They're currently on a 2-game win streak. Tampa on a 5-game winning streak. Last time they played was a 58-48 victory against Flagler back in December 21st. Sariana Rodriguez leading the charge there scoring-wise with 17 points. Still has 0 in this one thus far. Rodriguez on the ball now. Shakes to the left. Well guarded by Stupp, but the shot was just better.
Yeah, good defense, better. Oh, great take there. It's a tough situation here for Tampa because Sharks are starting to knock down three-pointers, so you wonder how much longer they can stay in this zone.
Michaela Clunan checking it to Shaw. Just rotating around that perimeter. Madison Clunan all the way across. 6 on the shot clock. And as she drove the baseline, once again, a fouling effort defensively for the Spartans. Oh, no, they're actually going to say stepped out of bounds. Dash Shaw just getting a foot on that baseline. Was trying to walk the tightrope and was unsuccessful. Rodriguez. Guarded intensely by Karina Conley. Now Ramsey. 13 on the shot clock in the early stages of the second quarter. Ramsey hit the brakes, back out to Palmieri, and she's good from 3.
Good shot there. It's a great driving kick from Ramsey, getting a foot in the paint and a good kick out.
Stupp on the other side was looking for a response. It's off the nose. Alana Ellis just takes that one for herself.
Yeah, great job there from Ellis, sticking with it. Again, I mentioned this before. The Sharks do such a great job of crashing the offensive glass. As Ellis does that there, give the Sharks an easy 2.
Palmieri faced by Madison Clunan, hands it off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez moving elegantly inside and then couldn't get the finish. It took some trips around the rim, a couple of hops, but no dice. Conley corner 3, no good. Sariana Rodriguez puts that one back up to the Italian freshman, Georgia Palmieri. Rodriguez once again showing off just how apt she can be in the paint.
Yeah, that was almost a little too easy there. I mean, got to her spot into the nice fader.
Stupp. A little bit of a faked pass there. A look off as Clunan gets that one stripped away. Ramsey makes her way inside. Able to dump it to Palmieri. Palmieri now hands it off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez.
Kind of forced it there. Seems like they wanted a foul call. Thought she got hit, but great defense from Conley.
Now, Zeno Sarin will check into the game for Nova Southeastern for the first time this evening. Graber over to Stupp. Sarin floating back up top for Clunan. Conley on the ball now. Stupp to Sarin. She'll take the three. A little too strong. Rebound found by Conley. But the putback no good. And as things got tied up underneath the rim, a foul is called.
Yeah, Sharks again just wanted more. Peyton Graber, smallest person on the court, goes in there putting her body on the line, fighting for that offensive rebound. That's winning basketball right there.
And we have now got a timeout on the floor here. 20-16 your scoreline. Nova Southeastern leading the Spartans. Shark fans, we are thrilled to invite you to the first ever NSU Sharks Pickleball Tournament on Saturday, January 25th, 2025. Gather a partner and register your team for only $150 per team. It's a unique opportunity to make lasting memories and support NSU athletics. Visit nsusharks.com/pickleball to register. Nova Southeastern and the University of Tampa. When these two teams clash, it's usually pretty fun. The last two meetings, though, have been won by the University of Tampa. So the last time they met here, it was a Sharks victory nearly a year ago. It was January 6th of 2024. As a good step in, shot taken by Davis is no good. Graber comes up with it.
Yeah, a bit of a quiet game so far from Aubrey Ramsey, but she's really kind of been that playmaker role here for Tampa early.
Conley's three is no good. Sarin comes hawking in for the rebound. Graber up top to Sarin. Stupp with 9 on the shot clock. Sarin, 5 seconds to go. Over to Stupp. Stupp takes the three, and it's good. Rolls in for Aubrey Stupp.
Yeah, if you're Tampa, you just can't lose sight of Aubrey Stupp right now. I mean, she's on fire.
A debilitatingly open shot to concede with seconds to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, it's just tough. Again, when you're in this zone, you're going to give up those shots. But again, like I mentioned, without Zoe Pirlo, I'm sure Tampa would love to go to a man-to-man, but you don't really have that interior presence like you do when she's on the court. So you kind of have to go 2-3. But the Sharks are almost at the point where they're about to shoot them out the zone, Mark.
Right now, the Sharks shooting 30% from beyond the arc, but they have attempted 13 shots from beyond the arc, so they've hit 4 of them. That's well done by Tampa on the other end. Vivian Gendy, who got the scoring early going in this game, as that three is off target, but it's swatted back out. Couldn't quite be kept in play.
Yeah, but again, I know the Sharks weren't able to corral that, but that started with Peyton Graber again, running in there into the teeth of the paint and almost creating another opportunity for NSU.
So Kath Van Bennekom will step in. And for a moment, it looked like she was going to be guarded by Zeno Sarin. Fun fact, they used to be teammates.
Really?
All the way back 3 or 4 years ago at the University of New Mexico. Zeno Sarin would end up coming to Nova Southeastern, and then Kath Van Bennekom made her way to the University of Tampa.
Small world.
Shot goes up, and it lands for Vivian Gendy, who has 9 points. Once again, worth reiterating, averages 3 points per game. But some big shoes were needed to be filled, and she's come in and made her mark. Stupp checks it to Shaw. Stupp to the corner. Sarin. Back to Shaw. 8 on the shot clock. Shaw to Sarin. Stupp now. She needs to shoot it. She does just that. And it bounces in. The shooter's touch for Aubrey Stupp.
Yeah, I mean, everything is falling for Aubrey Stupp right now. And if I'm Tampa, if there's anybody in that zone that I'm completely playing up on, it is Aubrey Stupp. I can live with everyone else beating me from the perimeter, but not Aubrey Stupp, because she's feeling it right now, Mark.
13 points, 5 of 6 from the field. Davis off target. Graber, right the charity stripe to Stupp. Stupp traversing oh so nicely.
Yeah, great job there from Stupp. Kind of cutting in from the corner, and a great find from Graber.
It's looking to be an Aubrey Stupp kind of night. Averages 14 points per game, and she's already at 15. Karina Conley is going to collect her second foul, which will be something worth monitoring as this game goes on. She'll go to the bench. Mercedes Simmons is back into the game.
You know, I don't know how many times I've actually seen Aubrey Stupp and Mercedes Simmons on the court at the same time. Usually it is one of them come in for each other, but, I mean, as you mentioned, this Tampa team, they're not lacking any size, so I'm not surprised here to see both of them in the game right now.
Palmieri for 3. No good. And it falls into the lap of Dash Shaw. Shaw all the way down the floor. And she draws a foul as she drove to the cup.
Fouls called on Tampa's number 5, Audrey Ramsey. Her first, team second. At the line, Dash Shaw.
Shaw, first free throw is good here. Was on the All-GLIAC second team last year, was on the first team the year prior to that when she was at Purdue Northwest. Averaged 18 points per game last season, 18.5 points per game the season prior. And also known to deal out a couple of assists every single matchup as well.
Yeah, and that's just a player. I mean, what a luxury it is to have her coming off your bench. You know, and that just kind of shows how loaded this Sharks team is. And honestly, just credit to Dash Shaw as well, just kind of buying into a system, buying into the Sharks system. I mean, you come from a place where you're the leading scorer, you're kind of the main ball handler, and now she's just fitting in like a glove with this Sharks offense.
Michaela Clunan will get her first foul. 29-20 your scoreline. Nova Southeastern leading up against the number 12 Spartans, though they are a little short-handed there without their leading scorer slash rebounder, Zoe Pillar. Palmieri at the right block. Bounces it out to Rodriguez. She floats it in for Jendi. Jendi with 2 on the shot clock. Gets it up and overshoots it. Here's Shaw. Back to Stupp. All give and go between the two of them. Sarin to Shaw. She'll take a 3. And it's just off the right-hand side.
Still just great effort there. I know the Sharks didn't get the team bored, but still just great effort. Almost creating other opportunities. And I'm actually just surprised because, again, when you're in that zone, you'd imagine that you'd be in position a lot more to get those rebounds. But, again, as I mentioned, just all comes down to effort, and the Sharks just want it more right now.
Well, we've discussed the size of this Tampa team and of the rebounding ability of Zoe Pillar, but the fact of the matter is this season the Sharks average 3 more rebounds per game than the Spartans do. Heart over height, as they say sometimes. Stupp. Back out to Shaw. Just over a minute to go in the half. Michaela Clunan for 3. Off the back iron.
1 minute remains in the first half. 1 minute.
Ramsey. Shaking to the left. Finds Palmieri. Georgia Palmieri finds her spot, and it was, in fact, her spot.
Yeah. Palmieri, freshman, playing like a vet right now, not playing afraid. Again, Audrey Ramsey, a bit of a quiet first half.
It's about a 10-second difference between shot and game clock here. Shaw to Sarin. She'll take a 3, and it's just shy.
Yeah, that's just not a good shot. I mean, 10 seconds kind of left in the shot clock. I'm sure head coach Freeland Curry would like to see that ball kind of be attacked to the basket to open up more opportunities. But again, the Sharks hustling there, able to get another opportunity.
About 16 seconds left to go in the half if you round up. Moores to Stupp. Moores inside. Mercedes Simmons can't get the bucket to fall.
And you could hear head coach Freeland Curry screaming 1 shot. Shot clock was turned off.
Rodriguez all the way down the other end of the floor. And that's a break for Nova Southeastern. But it's a 5-point lead for Nova Southeastern after 2 quarters of action. 29-24 is your scoreline. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll have had a chance to look at the numbers, to gather our thoughts, and we'll discuss just how this game has developed thus far on the SSC Digital Network. But until then, take a good break.
When it comes to pizza, your way should be the only way. Customizable, craveable, artisanal pizzas, fast-fired, and made just for you is what we're all about at Blaze Pizza. Whether you're the classic pepperoni type or like to mix things up with 3 or 4 toppings, at Blaze, you can build your pizza exactly how you like it. Order down the line, choose your toppings, including sauces, cheeses, meats, and veggies, and we'll fire it up in less than 180 seconds. And also, get this, any toppings you want are all one price. Yes, really. Visit us online at blazepizza.com or download the Blaze Pizza app today.
Do you think you know the quarterdeck? Take another look. Quarterdeck. Come for the food, stay for the fun.
Valley's all about making life easier for clients, and that's why we're all about smiles too. So every day, we make it possible for home buyers to become homeowners, for folks chasing their dreams to become entrepreneurs, for parents to plan today for their children's tomorrow, and for communities to get better every day. You see, when we know we've put a smile on a customer's face, well, that puts one on ours too.
What we do isn't just financial planning. We're developing a long-term relationship.
It's an international space where everyone is welcome.
We really resemble the community. I've been able to build a very successful practice, one that I couldn't have done alone.
Training that we have as financial advisors, it's unheard of.
This career, it does allow for an amazing work-life balance.
This ended up being the most rewarding thing that I could possibly imagine doing professionally.
If the world was like the South Florida Group, it would be a better place.
When it comes to pizza, your way should be the only way. Customizable, craveable, artisanal pizzas fast-fired and made just for you is what we're all about at Blaze Pizza. Whether you're the classic pepperoni type or like to mix things up with 3 or 4 toppings, at Blaze, you can build your pizza exactly how you like it. Order down the line, choose your toppings, including sauces, cheeses, meats, and veggies, and we'll fire it up in less than 180 seconds. And also, get this, any toppings you want are all one price. Yes, really. Visit us online at blazepizza.com or download the Blaze Pizza app today.
Do you think you know the quarterdeck? Take another look. Quarterdeck. Come for the food, stay for the fun.
Valley's all about making life easier for clients, and that's why we're all about smiles, too. So every day, we make it possible for home buyers to become homeowners, for folks chasing their dreams to become entrepreneurs, for parents to plan today for their children's tomorrow, and for communities to get better every day. You see, when we know we've put a smile on a customer's face, well, that puts one on ours, too.
What we do isn't just financial planning. We're developing a long-term relationship.
It's an international space where everyone is welcome.
We really resemble the community. I've been able to build a very successful practice, one that I couldn't have done alone.
Training that we have as financial advisors, it's unheard of.
This career, it does allow for an amazing work-life balance.
This ended up being the most rewarding thing that I could possibly imagine doing professionally.
If the world was like the South Florida Group, it would be a better place.
Stats at the half are presented by Northwestern Mutual. You can see the score. It is currently in favor of Nova Southeastern, 29-24. Number 22 Sharks up against the number 12 Tampa Spartans. You're watching on the SSC Digital Network. I'm Mark Schoenstert. That's Josh Raphael. But we've already seen his face once today with the new RAF Report graphics, so you already know what he looks like. But the one stat that I wanted to shout out from this game, obviously Aubrey Stupp, 15 points in the first half. Hit 3 3-point field goals in the first half, which is already tying her Shark high. Her career high in college is 4, so if she just makes one more, then she ties her career high and made triples in a single game. So maybe has a chance to break that mark here this evening in the second half, but there's always adjustments to be had. Now that you've had a chance to sort of simmer on what happened in that first half, what's really sticking out to you, and what are you looking at going forward?
I mean, Tampa didn't play a bad half, especially being down your best player in Zoe Pillar. They've had players step up. I mean, if I'm them, continue to put pressure on the Sharks in the interior. They've done just that. They've gotten kind of whatever they wanted in the interior. So I will continue that game plan on. If you're NSU, I mean, Aubrey Stupp has been playing sensational. Again, like you mentioned, she's lights out from the perimeter right now. But I imagine Tampa will kind of game plan around kind of slowing her down a little bit. So if I'm NSU, be ready for her teammates to step up. I would just be ready to have someone to be able to step up, to be able to knock down shots. Because, again, I imagine Tampa's going to try to throw something else at her.
Well, I mean, you said she's been lethal from beyond the arc, where she's 3 of 4. She's also been pretty good within it, 3 of 3 inside of the arc, 6 of 7 total. 15 points, already mentioned all of that. So that's a big thing. But you know what? This is one thing I love about doing halftimes at this time of the year, Josh, and it's that we got other scores to look at. So one other basketball game in the SSC is taking place, and with 33 seconds to go in the second quarter, it is 33-33 against St. Leo and Barry. So if we have time in the second half, we'll give you another score update on that one, though. Sometimes when we get really tight here, we start not worrying about what's happening elsewhere. So if we remember to, we'll make sure to give you an update. But a close one there between the Lions and the Buccaneers. Both of those teams currently sitting below these two sides in the standings. So they're both trying to play catch-up in that regard. But with that in mind, that is where we're at here at halftime. We're going to step aside. When we come back, the third quarter will be on the docket for you here on the SSC Digital Network.
championship trophy.
We return to the floor for the second half of action here at the Rick Case Arena for this top 25 matchup between the Spartans and the Sharks. Mark Schoenster, Josh Raphael with you here on the SSC Digital Network. 5-point lead for Nova Southeastern. They'll start with possession. Aubrey Stupp, who's been the highlight of the game thus far, getting her hands on the ball, has it once again. 15 points in the first 2 quarters. Moores takes a 3 off the nose. Rebound collected by Marissa McDonald.
Yeah, I'm Tampa. I'd like to see Audrey Ramsey get a bit more aggressive here in the second half.
Audrey Ramsey, 0 points despite averaging 12 per game this season. But is also a player that dishes out the assists, averages 5 of them a game. And at this point in time, she has got already 5 assists, so she's very well doing great on that side of the game.
Yeah, she's been playmaking well for the Spartans here early. But again, when a player like Zoe Pillar goes down, you need her to step up, especially scoring-wise.
And that's a 3 drained by Jess Moores, her first bucket of the evening. Davis being guarded by Michaela Clunan. Bounces it to her left for Rodriguez. Now Jendi, who got the starting look because of Zoe Pillar's absence. Rodriguez bumping in, turning, firing. And how about that shooter's touch from Sariana Rodriguez?
She loves that turnaround, Mark. That's her go-to move right there.
Conley. Oh, that one slipped out of her hands. Here's Audrey Ramsey. Been doing the playmaking. And a kick ball will keep it in favor of the Spartans. Ramsey will inbound it with Clunan in her face. Good find, and Jendi Easy pickings for her. She's got 11 points now. She leads the way for the Spartans in that regard.
Yeah, she's really stepped up big for Tampa today in the absence of Zoe Pillar.
Conley checks it to Stupp. Stupp bouncing it inside. Now it is Michaela Clunin. Moores driving in, and it falls through and one.
Yeah, and that's more of a scouting issue there for Tampa. Again, Jess Moores does a great job attacking the basket, but she loves to go right. You know, so if you're Tampa there, you kind of got to force her to go left. She's so dominant when she gets to that right hand, especially there was no one in help side there. So beautiful take there from Jess Moores.
Flips up the shot while taking the contact. And it's a three-point play for Jess Moores. And the Sharks have a 7-point lead right now. Trying to get a big win at home against Tampa, as the Sharks are in their campaign to protect their regular season title from last year in the SSC. After for several years, it was this very Tampa team that was the ones in hold of it. McDonald hands that one off. It's Olivia Davis now. She leads the conference in minutes per game at 37.1. Davis will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, great job there. Attacking the basket for Davis, drawing the foul.
Talking about another player who averages a good, wealthy amount of points, who has 0 thus far. Olivia Davis, 12 points per game. And she's looking to get on the score sheet for the first time here.
Yeah, and again, it's a welcome sight if you're Tom Jesse, because, again, your next two highest scores behind Zoe Pillar, as you mentioned, haven't really got on the board here in this game, and you're only down 5. So, again, shout out to the rest of the Tampa players that have stepped up in their absence.
Moores has that one plucked away on the pass. Davis bouncing it to Ramsey. She'll take a three, and it's short. Now Shaw will take it down the floor. Aubrey Stupp leads Nova Southeastern scoring in this game and on the season. Great catch from Clunin. Now Stupp, corner three. It's good! And a whistle is blown underneath the rim on top of that. Madison Clunin takes a tumble, but Aubrey Stupp picking up where she left off from beyond the arc.
Yeah, again, this is one of those situations where, I mean, you don't really have a lot of people in foul trouble if you're Tampa. You got to see what man-to-man does. You got to just try it, because this zone would really be working if Nova Southeastern wasn't knocking down shots, but Aubrey Stupp, again, is single-handedly taking Tampa out of this zone.
And for the first time this evening, we see Kaylin Terrell in the game. Able to reel that one in the corner. 8 on the shot clock. Stupp to Terrell. Dumps it off. Stupp prodding inside. Kicks it out. Not enough time. The internal clock of Aubrey Stupp wasn't quite accurate. And you mentioned no foul trouble for Tampa, though. I will venture after that foul was called, Sariana Rodriguez has 3. So that is something that will need to be monitored now. No one else, though, even close to that, though. Here's Ramsey. Going to her right. With the right elbow. To Jendi. That was a tight shot, and it won't go. Down the floor quickly. Aubrey Stupp capitalizes in transition.
Yeah, it's the first time we've really seen the Sharks really push it in transition there. See NSU starting to attack here. Sharks smell blood.
A timeout has been called as we go to our first break of the second half. Looking for a slice of summer? Playa Bowls uses fresh ingredients serving healthy and delicious acai, pitaya, and coconut bowls along with smoothies, juices, and a specialty coffee line. Pliables is located at 2471 South University Drive. Show your Shark card for a special discount. Sharks Athletics is brought to you by Spares Bowling, Pliables, Culver's, and Lime Fresh Mexican Grill. Aubrey Stupp has 20 points with still over half the third quarter to go. Her career high in scoring is 22. So currently in a very good spot to eclipse that number and set a new bar as the Sharks have a double-digit lead over the Spartans. That's a jarred ball. A lot of traffic crossing in different directions there as that ball was inbounded. And it took a glance off of the Sharks' last, so it will stay Spartan basketball with 25 on the shot clock. You're watching on the SSC Digital Network. Mark Schoenster, Josh Raphael with you here on the broadcast. McDonald hands this one off to Ramsey. Ramsey still empty-handed scoring-wise, though has 6 assists thus far in the match. Davis working her way in, and her shot just won't fall. She had the lane.
Yeah, great take there. Just couldn't get the finish. Again, against this Sharks team, you got to capitalize on opportunities like that. You rarely see defensive miscues from NSU.
Shaw from the point. Off target. Davis across the timeline. Halfway through the third quarter, the Sharks have bolstered their lead from halftime. McDonald inside to Jendi, and Jendi is fouled. That'll be Aubrey Stupp's first.
I mean, at this point, if I'm Tampa, I mean, the best way to slow Aubrey Stupp down is to probably try and get her in foul trouble. So I really like how they forced that in there to Jendi to kind of create that foul on Stupp.
So a timeout has been called. Nova Southeastern up by 10, but Vivian Jendi has 2 free throws coming her way in just a moment. Fresh Kitchen believes in fresh, high-quality ingredients to nourish and energize your body. Create your own custom bowls and enjoy fresh, daily pressed juices, teas, and juice frescas. Fresh Kitchen is located at 2852 South University Drive. Vivian Jendi going to the free throw line. She's got 11 points in this game. It's her second season. The senior with Tampa, transferring over from Northern Michigan University, where in her last year there she averaged 5 points a game. From the state of Wisconsin now, living in Florida. That's always very nice, especially this time of year. So a little bit of a taping issue on the wrist of Vivian Jendi. In between free throws, some laughs being shared amongst the players on the floor. So Jendy's second free throw on the way. And she's good on that one. Those are her first 2 attempted free throws of the season. 2 of 2. Shaw at the point. Checks it to Stupp. Terrell over to Graber. That quick passing to fight off the zone and free up some space. Graber hooks up the shot. It's no good. And she does everything she can to keep it in play. Thuds to the floor in the process.
I mean, yeah, the Sharks weren't able to corral that, but just what an effort there from Graber to still even give NSU an opportunity for an offensive rebound.
I'm feeling that in my shoulder.
Yeah.
McDonald, overhead pass to Davis. Ramsey guarded by Graber. Undeterred after hitting the deck. And then she bumps another player to the deck in the process. Just a little bit of contact. That'll be Graber's second. Audrey Ramsey trying to get to that left block. And now we're going to get 3 substitutions here, including Delaney Wolf coming into the game. That'll be her first appearance in tonight's match. McDonald. Back up top. Palmieri. Guarded by Wolf. 10 on the shot clock. Ramsey gets up the shot. And then a whistle blows as the ball makes its way back down. I'm going to call a foul on the rebound. And it's on Michaela Clunan.
Yeah. Great hustle there from Jendy to draw that foul.
And now Vivian Jendy will go to the free throw line once again. Had 4 points last game, was scoreless the 3 games prior to that, and she's very far from scoreless in this one. 14 now.
Yeah, she stepped up big again in the absence of Zoe Pillar. And that's what you need, especially when you get deep into postseason play. You want to be able to know that you have other players you can trust. And Jendy is really earning head coach Tom Jesse's trust right now.
Terrell floats it up for Simmons. Mercedes Simmons fighting through the contact. And then overshoots it on the other side of it.
Yeah, and that's just great defense there from the Spartans, not fouling.
And then Jendy bucking against Mercedes Simmons in the paint.
Spoke too soon there.
It'll be her second foul. Michaela Clunan has 3 fouls in this game, so the first person in that regard on the Sharks side to have 3. Terrell to Simmons. Wolf checks it over, rotating passes. Terrell for 3. Airballed. Seven-point ball game, 3 to go in the third. Ramsey tries to zip that one inside for Jendy. Jendy guarded by Moores, but Vivian Jendy gets the better.
Yeah, again, Jendy not afraid. Welcoming the contact, finishing through it with the left hand.
Moores, open triple, it's good.
I mean, that's just no defense there from Tampa. Again, miscommunication there in the zone. And I know NSU is shooting 27% from 3, but they're making all the threes that matter.
Perhaps picking and choosing who to contest those shots on Jess Moore is just a 20% shooter beyond the arc, but makes it count in that occasion. Jendy tried to break out a move. Here's Kaylin Terrell to Wolf. Back and forth. Terrell for 3. A little weak. A couple of bounces, though. Still held up the question a little bit longer. Palmieri. Faced with Delaney Wolf. Palmieri driving along. Can't get the finish to go. Wolf comes down with the rebound. Moore's in the corner. Terrell slings it inside. Simmons scores.
Great feed there. And it's just like the Spartans just can't seem to string together consecutive stops. I mean, great offense from the Sharks.
And a great cut there from Olivia Davis. 8-point lead for Nova Southeastern with possession. Terrell. Very close to letting that ball go. And the missed shot goes into the arms of Aubrey Ramsey. Under a minute to go, 50 seconds and counting. 20 on the shot clock.
Tampa can go for a quick 2-for-1.
Palmieri finds a spot. That one not on target, but the offensive rebound by Jendi. She tried to scoop it in, and then she stepped out of bounds. Oh no, it's a foul.
Tough for the Sharks right there. Going to put Jendi back on the line.
Kaylin Terrell with her first foul. Vivian Jendi, 4 of 6 from the charity stripe now. She's got 16 points. Zoe Pillar averages 18 points per game, so if she hits the 18 mark, then I would say scoring-wise she's fulfilled the duty of stepping in.
Yeah, 100%. But again, like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you got Aubrey Ramsey, who's second on the team in scoring with 0 points, and then you have Davis with 4. The other players that are supposed to step up in the Zoe Pillar absence just haven't really shown up tonight, or today, shall I say. And Tampa's missing that.
You can call it tonight. It's already dark outside. Graber checking it over to Wolf. About a 5-second difference between shot and game. As Graber overshoots it, Alana Ellis gets the board, and she's fouled.
Yeah, great effort there from Ellis. I mean, if you're going to be in this zone, at minimum, you got to be able to box out. Again, credit to the Sharks for the effort, but Tampa's in position. They're just not boxing out, and the Sharks are going to make them pay for that.
Alana Ellis goes to the free throw line. It's the first foul of the day on Georgia Palmieri. And a high bounce there on the free throw. Does not fall through for Ellis. Has 4 points right now, and the second one will make its way through. 14 seconds. It's an 8-point lead right now for the Sharks as we approach the fourth quarter. Ramsey had it popped by Moores. 3 seconds. Ramsey all the way denied. Knocked out of bounds with 1.4 seconds on the clock. And you're going to be looking at that 40 against 22 matchup. Well, here's an open look. Davis, no good. It would have counted. So an 8-point lead for Nova Southeastern going into the final 10 minutes of the game. Let's see if they can hang on to this one or if the Spartans have a comeback in mind in the fourth quarter. Fuel your game day with Steak and Shake. Stop by Steak and Shake at 5790 South University Drive for classic American favorites. Juicy burgers, hand-dealt milkshakes, and more.
You think you know the quarter deck? Take another look. Quarter deck. Come for the food, stay for the fun.
This is a top 25 matchup tonight in the Rick Case Arena. Nova Southeastern ranked number 22 in the WBCA polls. Meanwhile, Tampa at number 12. A couple other notable entries. Pittsburgh State at 14, who Nova Southeastern beat. And Embry-Riddle just one spot above the Sharks at 21. Just to give you some extra context here. But those other names not as important as the two names on the floor right now. The University of Tampa and Nova Southeastern University. The Sharks currently leading by 8 points.
And Ramsey just can't seem to buy a bucket. Had some really good looks her last 2 shot attempts. Just not able to knock them down, but still want her to be aggressive here.
Simmons. Not enough arc on that shot. There's Georgia Palmieri, 7 points in this game. Done well, the freshman. Handed off to her. Palmieri back up top. Van Bennekom, excuse me, with the pass inside. And the finish from Vivian Gendy. 19 points for Vivian Gendy.
Yeah, beautiful high-low action there. Gendy, nice seal on Mercedes Simmons. And Tampa not out of it. Just got to be able to get some stops.
Alana Ellis. Now Graber floating inside for Simmons. Simmons out to Stupp. Aubrey Stupp. And a kick ball as she passed it. It'll be Peyton Graber to inbound. All the way back out to Aubrey Stupp. Stupp in the corner. Back over to Moores. 10 on the shot clock. Madison Clunan bounces it inside for Stupp, and Aubrey Stupp gets the bucket.
Yeah, great ball movement there from NSU. Aubrey Stupp diving down below to the basket. Again, such a veteran move there.
Peyton Graber will get her 3rd foul. So worth noting on the Vivian Gendy front, this is her high as a Spartan. We'll dig back into her Northern Michigan days after this to see if this is her collegiate high. Palmieri bounces it inside. Back up to Van Bennekom. 8 on the shot clock. Palmieri takes a long 2, and it's good.
Tough. That's tough right there. Again, freshman, but she's playing like a vet. Nice way to get to her spot.
Moores up to Clunan. Stupp back out. And a timeout has been called by Coach Leanne Freeland-Curry. 7:25 to go in the 4th quarter. Sharks Athletics is presented by Huey Magoo's, Blaze Pizza, Quarter Deck, and Fresh Kitchen. We'll be back in a moment.
Pizza, your way should be the only way. Customizable, craveable, artisanal pizzas, fast-fired, and made just for you is what we're all about at Blaze Pizza. Whether you're the classic pepperoni type or like to mix things up with 3 or 4 toppings, at Blaze, you can build your pizza exactly how you like it. Order down the line, choose your toppings, including sauces, cheeses, meats, and veggies, and we'll fire it up in less than 180 seconds. And also, get this, any toppings you want are all one price. Yes, really. Visit us online at blazepizza.com or download the Blaze Pizza app today.
So we got the chance to go back and look. This is officially a career high for Vivian Gendy, beating a 16-point performance she had in 2021 as a freshman. That was a game at Northwood when she was still a Wildcat. Moores takes the 3, and that one won't go through for her. But she gets her own shot after it bounces through a couple of hands. Stupp for 3, overshoots it.
Tampa fortunate there. And you can kind of see that last Aubrey Stupp shot. Every shot she's taken before, she took her time down. You see she rushed it a little bit. But Tampa, again, fortunate there. Sharks don't capitalize off that offensive rebound. A very big possession coming up for the Spartans.
Palmieri winding about, bounces it back over to Van Bennekom. Jendi gets fouled in the process as the ball made it towards her. Aubrey Stupp getting her second. Under 7 minutes to go. 6-point ball game between the Spartans and the Sharks. You're not going to want to miss a moment of this one as it winds down. Ramsey guarded by Shaw. Back up top to Rodriguez. Rodriguez working her way in the paint as she also is good at doing.
Yeah, beautiful patience there from her. Thought she was going to go to her normal turnaround shot. But nice job there to get the lay.
Good recovery from Michaela Clunin as Shaw is fouled. That'll be a second on Palmieri. Talking about Sariana Rodriguez. When she gets in the paint, it almost looks like she's dancing with the way she just moves her feet. It's very light.
Yeah, she's such a poised player. And you almost get a steal there.
Clunin back up to Moores. Checks it to Stupp. Aubrey Stupp. With 8 on the shot clock now, it's Moores. Shaw with a couple of jabs. Now bounces it to Clunin. Madison Clunin rises up, and it twirls through.
A beautiful finish there from Madison Clunin. A big shot. Again, just seems like Tampa just can't seem to get stops.
And then Dash Shaw jumps on that play. Clunin leaving it for Stupp. Moores to Shaw for 3. It's good! A play that starts with Dash Shaw, ends with Dash Shaw. A huge turn of events here in favor of the home side Sharks. And a timeout has been called in for good reason. We'll step aside along with them as both these teams look to cut and harness this momentum.
Valley's all about making life easier for clients, and that's why we're all about smiles, too. So every day, we make it possible for home buyers to become homeowners. For folks chasing their dreams to become
Shark fans, remember, after every home game, head on over to Quarterdeck Bar and Grill for some after-game bites and receive 10% off your final bill. Located at 3155 South University Drive. Of course, another game still to be had after this one. Same matchup with the men's edition. As that one slips through the hands of Rodriguez, it's another turnover.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours. Again, what was a 4-point game now. Sharks are over here just pouring it on.
Stupp back up to Moores. No one's guarding her. She won't take the 3, though. Shaw back to Moores. Leaves it out. Clunin inside to Madison Clunin. Moores for 3. This go around. It's good. Drills it through.
Now, Mark, I got to ask you, at what point do you feel like the Spartans need to get out of the zone?
I mean, you only got 5 more minutes to go in the game. I mean, if you're committed to it, you're committed to it, I suppose. But it's a 12-point lead now. Palmieri, oh, so clean from the key.
Yeah, that's a big shot there.
Just something to cut the tide.
Yeah, again, I mentioned, it just seems like Tampa just can't string together consecutive stops. And shout out to the Sharks.
Clunin, and one! A little circus shot from Michaela Clunin.
It's just, again, if you're going to commit to the zone, like you said, but you got to communicate. Tampa's not speaking. They're not talking during the zone. Just watching face cuts happen as Clunan just did that, able to get the and one. Again,
that's a fourth foul on Rodriguez. Michaela Clunan makes it a three-point play. It is all going in the Sharks' favor right now. It's a 12-point lead, which is tied for their highest in this game. Ramsey trying to work something for herself. Ramsey short on the shot.
Just one of those games for Audrey Ramsey.
Dash Shaw. Rotated passes. Michaela Clunan on the ball. Overhead pass to Stupp. Bounce pass inside. Clunan turning. Now rising. And she's going to the free throw line. It's all starting to come together for the Sharks here.
And SU really putting pressure on Tampa. And now drawing consecutive fouls.
Vivian Gendy now with 3 fouls. Madison Clunan will go to the line. First one no good. 74% free throw shooter, Madison Clunan. Both her and Michaela from Kirtland, Ohio. A 13-point lead for the Sharks, their largest lead of the game. Davis leaves it off for Palmieri. They need something here quickly, Tampa, if they want to have a fighting chance in this game. And a foul is called.
Again, I know it's a 13-point game, just under 4 minutes remaining. The Sharks now surging, but Tampa's still not out of it. Just, again, it needs to be able to get some buckets here, but they need to get stops.
McDonald inside the arc. Palmieri, who's been a bright spot today for the Spartans. Morris knocks it away, but it stays in the possession of Tampa. 5 on the shot clock. Rodriguez gets it out. Davis, contested three, is good.
Tough.
That's a tough shot. And that's just what they needed.
Tough.
Shaw, open on the other end. Too strong. Rebound by Clunan.
And now they go to the man-to-man with 3 minutes left. We'll see if that'll be able to help them get some stops here, Mark.
Shaw with 5 on the shot clock. Dash Shaw bounces inside for Stupp. And Aubrey Stupp, have yourself a career night. 24 points.
It doesn't matter. Man, zone. Sharks are making the Spartans pay either way.
Palmieri shaking and not getting to finish.
Now I agree with that call there. The foul occurred before she took the shot. But again, it could go two ways. You know, a lot of times we see refs wait to see if the shot goes in before they make that call. I mean, it's a correct call, but just should have been called when the foul occurred.
Yeah, it was very delayed. Davis at the point. Rodriguez floats it inside for Gendy. Gendy losing her handle on the ball. 8 on the shot clock. And Jess Morris once again intervening. But that's just more time whittling away both shot clock-wise and game clock-wise.
She has just amazing active hands.
Palmieri, no good on the shot. And Dashaw will let that one bounce towards the Tampa bench. It's a 12-point lead for the Sharks against number 12, Tampa. And we're going to get a timeout here as the Sharks look to map out this one to victory. 12-point lead. It's going to need to be something crazy from Tampa at this point, but we've seen some wild things in the game of basketball, so stay locked in right here on the SSC Digital Network.
You think you know the quarterdeck? Take another look. Quarter Deck. Come for the food, stay for the fun.
Nova Southeastern looked to make it 3 straight wins on the season and advance to 3-1 in conference play. In their conquest to defend their regular season title in the Sunshine State Conference. Just over 2 more minutes to go. Here's Michaela Clunan to Jess Moores. Now Madison Clunan. 10 on the shot clock. Shaw. Bouncing inside for Stupp. Aubrey Stupp, a couple dribbles, and then the shot's no good. Tampa have got to be quick. Palmieri, she's got a quick trigger on her. She can get to a spot real quick and take a shot. Now Rodriguez, 13 on the shot clock. Good feed inside for Davis, and Davis gets the N1 bucket. Olivia Davis with a chance to get into double figures, and that's a 3rd foul on Aubrey Stupp. Ten-point ball game. It can be back in single digits with a free throw here. So after Davis had a very quiet day, she's now fairly close to her season average of 12 points. This free throw would make it 10, should she make it. And she does not, so she'll stay at 9. 10-point ball game. Under 90 seconds of basketball to go. Clunan will dribble out some of this clock. Palmieri right in her face. 10 on the shot clock. Clunan now passes to Shaw. Stupp to Dash Shaw for 3. Just shy. Under a minute to go. And we're going to get a whistle.
Another foul there.
Dash Shaw with her 3rd. So Olivia Davis will go to the free throw line, and the Spartans will take any of these point opportunities without any of the clock running down, because now they're playing against both of them here, both the Sharks and the time remaining.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa, again, defensively, regardless of what the score says, I can't say Tampa played a bad game defensively, because NSU was 28% from 3. I mean, they were 9 for 32 from 3. It just, Aubrey Stupp had a career day.
I mean, if you only score 53 points in a game, it's going to be tough to find a lot of victories doing that, especially on the road. As Dash Shaw will go to the free throw line, and it's worth reiterating, if you hadn't been tuned in throughout this broadcast, Zoe Pillar, their leading scorer and leading rebounder for Tampa, missing today due to the flu. So that's a major presence that is not out there on the floor.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, I mean, Jendi stepped up big. She did what she had to do. The freshman, Palmieri, stepped up big, did what she had to do. But this is a game where you need a Audrey Ramsey, you need an Olivia Davis, who got going late, but you needed her to kind of get going a bit earlier, because it's just tough. Again, it's tough to replicate Zoe Pillar's just dominance. But again, I mean, if I'm Tampa, I'm not really hanging my head low. I mean, lost by 10 without your best player
on the road,
and your next 2 best players didn't play an ideal game for them. So again, I wouldn't hang my head low. But if you're the Sharks, a good win. Aubrey Stupp, I know it's a big confidence booster for her.
A career night for Aubrey Stupp and another ranked win for the Sharks this season to start off 2025. Your final score, the Sharks win 63-53 against the University of Tampa. That'll put both the Sharks and the Spartans at 3-1 in conference play this year. And I'm sure as the rest of this season unfurls, these two will be taking a peek at where the other sits in the standings game by game. But with that in mind, we're going to step aside on this broadcast, but we have a second game coming here at the Rick Case Arena. And you guessed it, it'll be the Sharks and the Spartans again, but the men's basketball edition. The number one team in the country, Nova Southeastern, will be going off against the University of Tampa. So be sure to check out that broadcast on the SSC Digital Network. But if this is where your viewing experience ends with us, we hope you had a fantastic time. Your final score, once again, the Sharks 63, Tampa 53. For Josh Raphael, Josh Leatherman, I'm Mark Schoenster. We'll see you next time from the SSC Digital Network.